Link tags. Okay, so we are going to be using attributes for the first time. So the way I would describe this is I'm going to read a little bit of what I've written over here because it kind of captures a thought process that I want you to employ if we do it one by one. I'm going to make this one larger. So a complete link tag looks like this. There are certain parts we recognize here right away and certain parts that we don't. We recognize our A tag. We recognize that it is a tag. Notice that there's all this stuff here. We're not going to worry about that yet. But what it looks like to have is, at its most basic, an opening A and a closing A. So right now, if I told you, pop quiz, what is the link tag? And you said, it's an A, just like a P tag is a P or a line break is BR. All it is the A. That is correct. The thing is that when you make a link, you need to give it a destination. So a link in and of itself is not a link because even though the tag is correct, it's not going to do anything because you didn't tell it where to go. So if I were to write this text, this is a link to Google. I want to tell this tag, hey, when you click on this text, I want you to go to a particular website that I'm going to signify, which in this case is the full address to Google. So let's just take a look at one thing. Now I'm going to type in google.com and you're going to see up there www.google.com. But if you copy it, you come back in here and you paste it, look at what happens. It comes with the HTTPS. Okay, so when you're using the link tag right away, I got a gotcha for you. Make sure that you're taking the URLs directly from the address bar so it comes complete with the HTTPS. If you just do www.google.com, it may work, but it probably won't. So, hold on. But let's go on. We know that we have our, oh, look, it printed it right here. Don't worry about that. We have our A tag, and we know that our A tag doesn't work unless we give it a link. So we got a link. And here's where we're getting to the attributes. Now, we're going to get into attributes a lot later on today in this lesson. But just know that it's in addition to the opening tag. Don't worry about that yet. I'm going to break it down a little bit. But pretty much before that closing caret, we're adding an attribute. Kind of like a person has an attribute, right? They're tall, or they work at the Gap, or they have a Ford Taurus, right? An attribute to an A tag is, hey, this is an A tag, and it has this attribute called href, which is the reference, which is the website that I'm going to go to. So the A tag goes, where am I going? Here's where I'm going. And that's where you define it. You take your A tag, which we learned. You take the href, which is an attribute, which is attribute name equals sign, and then the value, which is the website. You close it with the quotation marks, and then it works. There's another attribute called target blank, which opens the link up in a new tab. It's pretty necessary. It's got an ugly syntax, but it's important to know. That one you can memorize. So far, things that you should memorize are the HTML tag syntax, the fact that some things are self-closing and other smaller ones, where a few tags are self-closing, but most are not. And that target equals underscore blank is the attribute for opening a link in a new tab. So for this challenge, all I want you to do is add a full working A tag anywhere in the text and link it to Google. Look up target blank and try to figure out how to open a new tab and add one for each one in the text. Now, I already told you what target blank does, so don't bother looking it up. But if you want more help or it's not clicking for you, feel free to look it up. All I want you to do is add a link tag on here. So I'm just going to give you a second, and then I'm going to get into it. Okay. So we need to add a full working A tag anywhere in the text. This right here. Nunc in nisi. I'm going to wrap this and only this in an A tag. So all I do is this. That's technically correct, but we're not going to see anything on the side. What you should be seeing is it should highlight blue or purple, and have an underline to tell the user that this is a linkable text. But because there's no href, because there's no place to go, the a tag does nothing. So we're going to go, see if we can zoom in. No, here we go. We go directly inside of this a tag, give myself a little space, and I'm going to type in href for href, which is the name of the attribute. Now I want to set the attribute equal to a value, so I put an equal sign, and then 2 quotation marks, because something is going to go in there. I go back up and get from the address bar, or from wherever you have, or even from memory, if you can remember to type in the HTTPS, HTTPS :// put that as the value of the href, and boom, worm service right here. You see, if you hover over it, it's going to go to Google. Now the target blank just gets added in addition to that opening tag. So we're still before the first caret. And I'm just going to add another attribute. In this case, it's target. I'm going to set it equal to a value. And the value will be blank to open it up in a new tab. So this is what you need right here. This is the full link tag. Study it, memorize it, realize that there is a pattern here of attribute value, that there's a pattern where they always are wrapped in quotation marks, where there always is an equal sign. Only thing that changes is the name of the attribute and the value, and that all attributes go here in the first a tag, leaving this closing one as such unchanged. And we see here, we click it, see it opens up a new tab in Google. Okay, so we're going to wrap this one up now, and I will see you in the next one.